Hello, and welcome to Totally Schway Flipside. My name's Mary.
And my name is Juan Sanchez Lobo Ramirez.
It's not.
No, it's
It's
not. It's
Luke.
Luke. Yeah, I know.
And this is a podcast about whatever the hell I wanted to be.
It's not a podcast about the Highlander before anyone chimes in.
Unless our Superman does a Highlander movie, because I've heard things.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard
Who would
things.
play Ramirez in that, though? Because Sean Connery is obviously
You're asking a person that hasn't watched Highlander in about 30 years.
Pedro Pascal. I was just thinking of Hispanic actors.
You play him in anything.
Pedro Pascal
anything.
goes, "Hello, I am Juan Sanchez Lobo
I
Ramirez."
will watch it because he is my Joel. Not because I think he's like super hot or something like that. I just think he's a super cute human being. And his Instagram, it makes me feel better about the world.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. So today, we're going to talk about the last episode of Penguin. And it's called A Great or Little Thing. And if you watch the the after credits mini doc behind it, you'll know that that's part of some literature for
It's an
you.
Oscar Wilde book,
Yeah.
apparently.
We love Oscar Wilde in this house. I don't know about y'all, but in this household, Tennessee Williams, Oscar Wilde, and E.L. James. Nobody gets that. No, I like E.L. James. I like 50 Shades of Grey. It's fine. I'm a 30-something-year-old woman. It's fine. Colin Farrell. Let's get to Colin Farrell. What did you think about this episode?
I thought it was an excellent episode. I was going to say that it was perfect. I wouldn't say it was perfect because nothing is perfect. But they did a really...
Speak for yourself.
They did a really great job of showing what an awful, spiteful, black-hearted person the Penguin is. Because you had that one redeeming quality, his relationship with Vic. And he just...
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
We will get to that. Because I have words. I have complaints. And I have sorrows. Would you like to ask me what I thought of it?
No.
So I'll ask myself, hey Mary, what did you think of it? I thought it could have had a little more. But I think it ended well. And if this is the ending we get for the entire Penguin saga, then that's fine with me because it ended on a perfect note for the Penguin. Did I think it was a perfect episode? It wasn't bad. It was a great episode, but I have thoughts, concerns, complaints.
Air them.
First complaint. I know, Gilly, I know. We're going to circle back to what Luke just said about Vic. I'm not happy about this. This is the thing that I don't think it's perfect. It could have been better.
Well, the thing to remember is when he first met Vic, he was going to murder him.
Yeah.
And then he decided not to. And they kind of build up this kind of replacement father figure relationship throughout the whole series. And he's put his arm around him.
Don't you
around Mary.
Because
I'm putting my arm around Mary.
I got a sharp pen in my hand.
Yeah, and he's
a French one.
He goes, yeah. Vic says to him, we're family now. He goes, yeah, and family is a weakness. And he just chokes the life out of him.
Yeah, in front of a hospital. Can we add that? Front of a hospital.
I don't know if they were definitely in front of the hospital. They were on the waterfront.
Yeah, we're assuming it's in front of the hospital. So I think it's silly that they lead us to believe that this is happening in front of a hospital.
I didn't believe that, but they're not clear, so I suppose that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Ambiguous.
Yeah. But it's Gotham as well, so do you expect them to have somebody come save their life?
Do you know, I went on social media after my self-imposed blackout because I didn't want Penguin episode spoiled.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday when we're recording this. It'll probably go out
and
today,
it's quite late, so that's why we're a bit silly.
Yeah, but I went on social media and I saw people going, I know what's going to happen next. Batman's going to swoop in and save Victor, and he's going to train him to be Robin. I'm like, no, he's not. No, he's not. Vic is dead.
He's dead.
He was murdered by the Penguin.
He's dead. That there's that thing about like how much oxygen your brain needs after a certain time, and I think him walking away, his slow walk that the penguin does
Yeah,
because he can't fast walk.
yeah,
I don't think the oxygen got to his brain, and I think we could say he is gone.
yes. And the thing as well is, even in the Batman, Batman explicitly says in his opening monologue that he can't be everywhere, which is why they have the bat signal to put fear in people that are doing wrong. That there's a chance that Batman could be there in the shadows.
So let's talk about something else that's a major point in this. Ma knows.
Yeah, I mean,
Ma knows about Jack and Benny.
yeah, and I suppose it's not too surprising that she figured out that Oz had basically left them to die,
Mm-hmm.
and she figured it out while he was a boy. And the thing I found surprising is that she got that, or she was going to get that gangster Rex. I forget his surname. She was going to get him to kill Oswald, but then she decided not to, because I guess Rex says something, doesn't he, along the lines of monsters like that you either
Are loyal
yeah
or
you either nurture that.
yeah, you nurture them to be loyal
Mhm.
or because of their loyalty or you kill them.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess she changed her mind, but she hated him.
Yeah.
And the thing I found really quite interesting, I hate that word interesting, and I say it all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the fact that Oz would never admit it to his mother. He's constantly going, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? What are you trying to say? Constantly, even when his mother says, I know you did it, Oz, just say it. Theo Rossi's going to cut my finger off if you don't just say it. And even.
Oh, a side note.
Yeah.
Can we just say, what the hell, Warner Brothers? I know that you're going to potentially give me a job one day, and a few of my beautiful friends that I have here on this podcast. But why didn't you use Theo Rossi more?
Well, I guess he was introduced to serve the plot point of them discovering that Penguin had murdered his brothers. Because he was doing his light therapy to
Unless you're going
cut
to
stuff
turn
from
around
the
and give
shadow.
me an Arkham show, you better have an apology written,
They had better.
posted, and snail mailed to me right now.
Yeah.
Because Theo Rossi is amazing. And I wish that they would have done more. But obviously, all jokes aside, um, Theo Rossi did a great job in the small role that he was in. And oh, that is a good idea. An Arkham show.
Well, they were trying to do it, and then it seems to be possibly not
Do you
happening
think
now.
that they would let me be on that show? I mean, I could just show up. I don't need to act crazy. I'll just be like, I am an American woman from the South that is very sad.
Mm.
They'll be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I really struggle to understand why they don't. Like Gotham Central is just like a no-brainer.
GCPD.
Yeah, no-brainer for that. Arkham Asylum could also be quite a good series if you treated it like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and let's say there is a sane person that has been put in Arkham,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're seeing
Oh, give
the
me the same
insanity
person.
of Arkham
I need to give up this dream.
through their eyes. But I guess they kind of did that with Sophia. They put her in there as a sane person, and then she went mad. And Sophia, she had some very nice outfits in across this series. Particularly, the thing I found really weird, she had that boob scarf, which I was thinking, what is the practical reason for that? She had the scarf tucked in on the left side and then wrapped around
It's
her neck.
obviously a reference to her character in the comics and then her father in this show.
Do you think?
I do.
'Cause-
And there's also, oh, I don't know if you've ever read when you were in high school. I
no, I
can't,
never read in
no,
school.
there's a story about this woman who has, she has to wear this scarf on her neck or her head will fall off or something. If anybody knows what the name of that poem is,
I know, I am aware of
please
that.
tell me what it is because I cannot remember what it is. I could just Google it, but I trust you guys more. Um, it reminded me a tiny, teensy bit of that, but it's obviously a reference to like I said, to the comics and to her father in this show.
I mean, if it was kind of tied like a noose, then I could say, oh yeah, it's the Hangman reference. but the fact that it was just tucked in on the left breast side.
But it was very it wasn't that subtle.
No,
It wasn't a subtle. I thought it was beautiful.
very fashionable.
Yes, that's my sort of like I can't wear things like that, obviously, but I think people that do wear that, I think it's beautiful, and that is like the sort of fashion that I like when there's a meaning behind it that you can make your own. Like it doesn't have to serve a meaning of any kind, but if you have one, beautiful.
What?
Art. Art.
Yeah, well, one thing I liked is that she had coordinated her shoes. The soles of her shoes were red like the scarf.
Oh, those are just Christian Louboutins.
Mm-hmm.
Those, by the way, never been worn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not a day, a moment, a second in their life were they ever wore. There was no scuff.
Yeah, well,
They had no like pretend soles on there. They were beautiful.
so what were your favourite outfits of Sophia's? Because you mentioned you really liked that yellow dress that she wore when she was talking to the family.
Yeah, I liked that. It took me back to when, you know, back in the 1950s, you had a lot, 1950s and 60s, you had, you know, a lot of the women's movement really just coming full force. We put out there like, no, we're not going to take it anymore, da 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 da. And a lot of women wore dresses like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me of that because she was taking control. And she was that little girl that everybody saw, and now she is a woman that is going to be the head of this blended family.
Mm.
And I thought that was, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but that just made me feel as a person who loves movies from the, you know, the golden age of movies, and I'm very well aware of like 1950s and 60s um like movements and all of that. It was beautiful.
On the subject of Sophia,
Mhm.
one thing I found myself thinking is, you know, when she burned down the house at the family home,
Mhm.
and they had a Nirvana song playing, a cover of a Nirvana song,
Yeah.
excuse me. You made a very funny joke. You said, they've blown the budget. They couldn't
Yeah.
afford the actual Nirvana
Yeah.
song. What song was it again?
My Girl.
Is that what it's called?
I think it's called My Girl, My Girl.
Yeah, don't lie to
It's
me.
one of my favorite Nirvana
Is it not
songs.
don't tell me where did you sleep last night, or is that just one of the lyrics?
I cannot remember. It's one of my favorite songs, but I always say that it's,
Come look it up.
yeah, I always say it's My Girl. But
Maybe it is.
I get that mixed up with the Temptations song because that's another one of my favorite songs.
But one of the things I found myself thinking, so Sophia's burning down the family home, and she's basically said to all the gangs, whoever gets Oz gets my empire. Yet she still had all of those henchmen and guards and stuff. It was called Where Do You
Yeah,
Sleep Last
I
Night?
always call it My Girl. I'm not the like I've said this before.
She's a fake fan.
I'm not a fake fan, but I'm not the biggest fan of Nirvana. I like
No.
them, but like with this,
Mm.
I'm like my girl.
But those henchmen were basically just standing by and being done out of a job,
Yeah.
and they were going along with it. They were like, "Yeah, get in the car, Sophia. I'll drive you to the airport, Sophia. No problem, Sophia."
Well, they were probably paid kindly.
Maybe, maybe.
I mean, if I had henchmen, I'd pay them kindly, but I don't know what I'd have henchmen for. I would just have bodyguards
I was gonna.
to
You've got a
go.
husband for that.
I would probably hire a bodyguard
Huh.
because I just had a thought come in my head.
Uh-huh.
What if I had, like, if we were moving or something, and I was in the car with you, and we had so much of your Batman stuff,
Right.
and somebody was like, "Get out of the car!"
I'd be like,
I get out of the car.
and I'd be like, to take my Batman stuff, you're going to have to kill me.
Would be like, "I'm part of the van. I'm part of the van. I'm part of the car." This is 6 p.m. Mary, by the way. But yeah, I was thinking about that. So I'd probably need a bodyguard.
Maybe, yes. Um,
Anyway.
so she kind of wrapped things up on Sophia to get things back on track. She ends the season back in Arkham,
Yeah.
and
I
that's
always knew Oz wasn't going to kill her.
no, but
I always knew that.
I think sending her back to Arkham was worse than killing her.
I say that and then watch on my bingo card. It was like Sophia's going to die. Definitely, totally.
I can't remember what we put on our bingo cards,
Yeah. I
frankly.
need to go through that.
Yeah. Well, I bet someone that listened to this will remember, and they'll be like, "Ah, but in episode 14, you said this."
There was only 8 episodes.
No, of the podcast
Oh,
episode.
okay.
Um,
um.
but I thought they lay the groundwork quite nicely for the Batman 2,
Yeah.
with Sophia getting that letter from her half sister.
Selena Kyle. I really wanted them to put Zoe Kravitz voice over that.
Mm.
I, I think I've said to the podcast how much I love the Kravitz family.
Mm-hmm. Someone was telling me that at the Warner Brothers studio they have Zoe Kravitz Catwoman costume in a glass display cabinet,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like 5 foot tall. He said it's a tiny costume. He said that the Michelle Pfeiffer costume like towers over it.
Mm-hmm. She also didn't wear that big of heels either, did she?
I don't recall.
I don't think she did.
No.
But
But
yeah,
not that that's important.
no, she's a
But
shorty, just like me.
it was just an observation someone shared with me, and I'm passing it off as well. I'm not passing it off as my own because I said that it
Oh
was
my
someone
god,
else.
am I taller than Zoe?
You might be. You tear over. You go. Give us your lunch money, Zoe.
I would
Have it.
never. No, I wouldn't. I probably would be like, "Hey Zoe, hi. I can you have your dad say hi, guy, bye." No, I would never do that. Um, I would ask Lenny himself. Um, I forgot what we were talking about. I got
Talk about
sidetracked by
Sophia in
Zoe.
Arkham.
Yeah, I got sidetracked by Zoe Kravitz's costume.
Yeah. So well, that was my fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I thought it was interesting that Theo Rossi turns up there as her doctor again, and he just can't leave her. Like,
Ever actually leave Arkham though?
he had left Arkham.
He told her that he left Arkham, but we don't know if he actually did.
I think he did because he had his own
Okay.
private practice, and he spent all his
Okay.
time sitting around in her house. If I was his
Operating.
supervisor at Arkham, right, and he spent all day up at the Falcone
What if he
family
was
mansion,
the supervisor?
well, there's always a supervisor for the supervisor. I'd be like, listen, Theo Rossi, you got to work harder on your attendance.
Yeah.
You can't just go sitting around. Well, I know exactly what he was doing at the Falcone mansion, but anyway.
Yeah, we found that out. I didn't want to know.
Yeah, you didn't need to see that.
Penguin tidies up is the next thing that you've written down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We didn't mention that I made the notes this time.
Mhm.
Yeah. So basically, Penguin's scheme is also very neatly wrapped up in a little bow. Everything just goes perfectly, despite the fact throughout the whole series, every little thing that could go wrong did go wrong.
Mhm.
He somehow manages to make it all get tidied up in the end.
Yep, yep.
Even with his mother, who tells him that she hates him and she's always hated him. She ends up having a stroke and she can't speak anymore.
Mm-hmm.
She's bedridden.
So that's your next thing. So you're kind of
Well,
tying
tying
that
them,
loose.
kind of
Yeah.
tying them together, yeah. But it's
Ma got what she deserved.
yeah. And the thing is, she had made Oz promise to kill her if she ever like completely lost herself, and he said he would. By not doing that, he is punishing her.
I just said something.
Yeah.
Ma got what she deserved. And I would not have said that prior to this episode. I would not have said that because I don't feel that any person could even put a plan into motion to harm their child. Even if their child did something monstrous like that. Obviously I'm a mother of 3 cats. Uh and I'm not a mother of an actual human being, but I don't think I think Ma was heavy in influencing Oz into becoming the Penguin.
Oh, absolutely. She
And
encouraged him.
yeah, because she knew he couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Or she didn't believe he could do anything else.
She knew that he was a monster.
Yeah. Liar.
Yeah. But he said exactly the right thing to her. You know,
Mhm.
he's very observant. He said, you know, I notice the way that you smile when you're not enjoying things, the way that
Mhm.
when you're thinking you smoke more. Um,
Yeah.
there were a couple of other observations he made. Um, and he said that he was going to get her a better life. And you know what? She believed him, and that's why she went along with it.
Well, he kept his promise in the end.
Well, yeah, she did get her room in the penthouse suite,
Mhm.
just not
She is
exactly how.
vegetable.
Well, you saw she was crying at the end, so she.
That could just be watery eyes.
It could very well be, but I think that she's got trapped in syndrome. She's fully aware of what's going on, and she can't do anything about it.
The doctors would know better than I.
Yes.
No, I just have. I'm going to say this now. I just have, and I think that one of the reasons that I like this series is that it makes me really uncomfortable, and it makes me dislike these characters
Yeah.
so much. It gives you a little bit of, hey, these people could be decent and they could change and they could be good people.
Hmm.
But then what they do is they completely say psych, and um they make them super gnarly.
Yeah.
And with Ma, I think having it having you wait until the very end to know that she knew was good,
Hmm.
because you didn't end up feeling uncomfy with her until that moment.
I'll tell you what made me feel very uncomfortable about that last scene, though.
What?
You know what I'm going to say?
No, I don't.
He made Eve dress up in his mum's clothes,
Oh
wear
yeah,
a wig like her,
I
and
I, I zoned that one out.
facially, she actually quite resembles his mother, and I didn't notice it until she had the wig on. And then he's like, "Tell me you're proud of me." And I'm like, "Oh, Oz, yo, no!"
But with that, it wasn't anything that was when she was dressed up like that, we didn't see anything like they didn't kiss or anything like that. So
No.
they were just dancing like his mom danced with him at Monroe's.
Mm.
So I don't think that was supposed to be creepy in any way. I just think that was just Oz trying to finally hear those things, and that was the only way it was going to happen. I don't think that there was anything nasty because she would have taken the wig off.
I don't know. She kept her blonde wig on all those other times,
I know, but
allegedly.
she was a different person then. By the way, are you gonna say what Eve's last name
Oh
is?
yeah, yeah. So when we watched the because we every episode apparently has got a little making of that episode and a teaser for the next episode on, but we never watched those because we didn't want to spoil the next episodes for us. But
Mhm.
we watched this one for the last episode. They in the subtitles they said Eve's name was Eve Carlo. I was like, oh, I missed that. Carlo, that's Basil Carlo, Clayface.
Yeah,
Now that could be a reference. Maybe she's Clayface's daughter. Maybe it's just a coincidence.
she is Clayface.
Maybe she is Clayface because
Yeah,
she does present a lot of different identities, mostly involved wearing different wigs.
yeah. We've kicked it. We've done it. We've
We solved it.
uncovered the truth.
The Batman's Clayface is named Eve,
And
and
she wears a lot of wigs, and we
that's
love wigs.
and there's nothing play like about her or her face. It's literally she just puts on a different wig,
Yeah,
and people are like, "Oh, there's Bruce Wayne. Hello, Bruce Wayne."
Bruce. Just like when Clark puts on glasses,
Yeah, just like it. Yeah.
or when Superman puts on glasses, he becomes Clark.
Yes, and then she like puts on a different wig. Oh, Commissioner Bock, when did you walk in?
Hey. Put the top hat on. Oh, let's talk about the top hat. Does he actually put? He doesn't actually put it on, does he?
No, no, he takes it off when he gets out of the
Tease.
car, so you can see that he had it on,
Yeah,
but
he's a
he's carrying it in.
tease.
But yeah, he doesn't have the monocle either, so I think it might have been Aris, the Phantasm. He'd said that he thought that Penguin might wear his comic accurate costume by the end, and you're kind of right, kind of right.
Gold pinafore though. Is it called a pinafore?
I would have said it was a waistcoat.
Pinafore is something different. Never
Is
mind.
it? I would have just said a
I
waistcoat.
don't know. Yeah, it's a gold waistcoat rather than a purple waistcoat.
Waistcoat is a weird word, isn't it? It's a coat for your waist.
I think that's
It's very literal.
super descriptive, actually.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird concept. Maybe it's just me thinking that's a weird thing. Like, oh, better put a coat on my waist in case it gets cold.
I think we've been up too long.
Well, yeah, I have absolutely. Um,
you have. I got up before you.
no, you didn't. I was awake before you did. I was awake before your alarm went off.
Oh, Ooh, look at you.
Yeah, I know. There was another thing
They're
I
gonna
wanted
be
to.
like, they're being sassy today. I'm like, nope, this is just
Yeah,
6 p.m. us.
this is just normal.
Yeah.
There was one other thing relating to Oz tidying up that I was going to say, and I can't remember it now. So I said how everything was like neatly wrapped up in a bow.
We talked about Ma's fate and everything.
I don't remember what I was going to. So I liked the fact that he went to the councilman and basically fed him a story that the councilman does not believe. He says how much of that is true, and then Oz says all of it. He's like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, the councilman knows it's a bunch of BS.
Yeah, but he sees that neatly wrapping up this series of events by saying that it was a mob war between the Maronis and the Falcones, and that he can then arrest Sofia, or at least work with the police to ensure that she's arrested, makes him look very good. And in at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
it gives Oz his way in
Leg
to the
in.
elites. Yes,
Yeah.
which is why he starts wearing a suit, because that's what he thinks elites wear.
Obviously, top hat, Fred Astaire, duh.
Yeah, that's exactly it, isn't it?
Duh.
Um, I saw a post today as well, that said that the background of the mayor's like hall, whatever you call that, there were owls in the background on the like the artwork on the walls. So they're
Yeah.
like, oh, court of owls in the Batman too. I really hope not. I don't like the court of owls. I don't like
Why are you
conspiracies
doing that voice?
because I know it's not a very popular opinion. I know a lot of people really like the court of
Some
owls.
of us might like the Court of Owls.
That's what I'm saying. But
We've
I don't.
been invited to the Court of Owls at one point in
Well,
time.
yeah, we did go to that Court of Owls thing, and they gave me a lapel badge. We've got two of them, haven't we?
Yeah.
And I'm not joking. And we do actually have those.
I'm kind of offended that you are
I'm sorry, Court of Owls people that listen, but I don't like conspiracies, and I don't like like, oh, there's a big conspiracy going on to control everything. Ugh.
I think that they put it in there like they put in Carlo or Roxy or something. Little tiny things that were just like little Easter eggs. If you know, you know. You know.
Or like how they made Victor Freeze, and Victor Zaz rolled into
Well,
one.
Victor was Dr. Freeze.
No, Mr.
He's coming
Freeze.
back. That's how he's gonna obviously.
Of course, that's right. So Batman's going to put him in a cryogenic thing, and it's going to turn him into Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
He's going to step out and be like, "Oh, I must get
Yeah.
Oswald. Chill out, Penguin."
Is Victor gonna become cyborg?
Oh my God, Victor Stone. Oh my! Why didn't we see it before?
I am so happy.
We cracked the case, folks.
You know what? This entire season, I thought he was going to be Mr. Freeze. But no, he is going to be Cyborg.
Of course he is. Just makes perfect sense. Matt Reeves, you genius.
Yeah, sure.
Even though I've forgotten the lady's name that's the showrunner for this series, but everyone like attributes everything to Matt Reeves, and he is involved. He's the executive producer. He signs off on stuff. He approves stuff, but it's not just him.
Can we say that they have made women look incredible in this? And I'm not just talking about like their looks and stuff like that. I'm talking about like, look what happened to Eve. Eve stood her ground when it came to her family. And she was like, you can kill me, but leave my family out of it. Leave my family alone.
Leave my girls alone.
Yeah. And you have Sofia taking it from, you know, what it was to what it could be.
Mm-hmm. So this is what happens when you have a diverse team of writers, directors, and artists working on it. You get different perspectives that inform and kind of inform the world and lead to broader characters rather than just getting, straight white guy comes in, writes cute girl goes psycho, lol.
50 Shades of Beige.
Yeah, which this show was not.
No, it wasn't. It was beautifully done. And although I didn't like some of the characters, I think that was the point.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to like them
And I
people.
think it makes me feel icky. Excuse me. Throat dry because
All this talking.
yeah. Um I didn't like some of these characters. And I just felt icky sometimes because you had moments where you were like, okay, I like them a little bit, and then it's like, why?
Well, yeah, it's like with Penguin. He'd do something really horrible, and then he'd say something really funny, like when with that councilman when he got the was it the pliers on his nose
Yeah,
and was
it's just,
forcing him to turn the
it's just
power
that
back
though.
on. Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's just your nose. It's
Oh,
fine.
I
Like you got more room than you think. He's
can we
opening back his car
can we
out.
talk about the star of the show for a moment?
Who was the star of the show?
Colin Farrell.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I
the
was
literal star.
yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to think of one of the animals in there, but I can't think of any animals.
No,
Anyway, I want to say how incredible he was at making this character that it's not one of the most favorite villains in the Batman series
some people he is.
to some people, but he's not a Joker. He's not a Two Face or anything. Yes, I think the Penguin is a great character in most of the iterations that he's been in. Right?
Allegedly.
I'm sure there's a video somewhere you can find where somebody talks about the Penguin and the
Yeah.
characters.
Some guy has done it
Yeah,
sometime
I,
somewhere.
yeah, some person. Um,
Someone might be doing a video about multiple penguins.
yeah,
Maybe I don't know.
I know. But he took this character that some people didn't even know about, like some people that weren't like Batman in the know of Batman, and he took this character and made it so great that they have a show, an 8-part show for this character that I hope wins Emmys. I hope this will win awards. And if it doesn't, the Emmys go to hell.
Do you want there to be a season two?
Um, I think if there was a season 2, I think it would be too much.
Mm.
I would like him to be in the another Batman movie.
He is. He's apparently
Um,
he's got 5 or 6 scenes in the
yeah.
Batman too.
But I think they need to give some other characters a go. Like they need to introduce some other characters.
Hmm.
Um like I said, I'm going to say it again. GCPD, uh Arkham, um it could be done very well, and those two could be the same show.
Yeah.
They could be, hand in hand. Um I know Marissa Hargitay. I can't say her name. It's so beautiful when she says it.
Is it Mariska?
Mariska, yes, Mariska Hargitay from SVU isn't available,
Hmm.
but
Cancel the show.
um I think you could find an actress like her to do this.
Yeah, I mean, what I would like them to do is not do Penguin season two, but
Yeah.
continue the story of that universe, focusing on
Mhm.
smaller characters.
Yeah.
So it could be about
Obviously Victor.
Victor is Solomon Grundy because he
Don't
had
you
his
dare.
ID thrown in the
Don't you
river,
dare.
and
Don't you dare.
then his ID
Don't you
card is going to
don't
be
you put
resurrected as a
don't you put
zombie,
Grundy's name in your mouth like
and it's
that.
going to come out and go Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday.
No.
That's
You
literally all
know
his dialogue.
it's gonna come back as Hawkman.
A 12-part series with Solomon Grundy
No.
wandering around the swamps. Why are they not doing this? Are they mad?
I agree. I think if they just made this, like both of us have said,
Yeah.
give some other characters a chance.
Penguin could still appear in it briefly.
Obviously, but it doesn't have to be Penguin.
Yeah.
It could be, I know Gotham's taken,
Hmm.
but it could be a different character each season.
Yeah.
Kind of like American Horror Story is a different story each season, but it's all connected.
They could do a Harvey Dent
I
show.
know. I was thinking that Two Face.
No,
It could just be Harvey.
yeah, just Harvey Dent.
Yeah, I don't know
Before he
if I
becomes
yelled
Two-Face.
that Harvey.
No.
Um,
You could do one about. They could introduce Rupert Thorne. They could do. They could do anything. It doesn't have to be a costume supervillain either. It could be a Jason Todd show about
no.
an orphan growing up in Gotham. It could
Actually,
be
no, that would
anything.
be good. That would be good. We
Yeah.
love that
Yeah.
because it shows that Robin isn't bad like you think he is.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
want people to know Robin isn't bad.
I mean, I don't think Robin's bad. I just don't really care for him. I don't care.
So, HBO and Warner Brothers, if you're listening, which you aren't, let's be real.
Some of them might be.
I'm here all of the time. I have a lot of free time on my hands at the moment. I do like to play The Sims occasionally. So if I send you a video of me playing The Sims and it's playing out a storyline, I hope that's acceptable.
Just broadcast it now.
That's acceptable. That is the way that I communicate. I actually haven't played The Sims in like 3 months.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thoughts on the entirety of the show. One word.
Grim.
Interesting.
Just
And on that note, I think.
one final thing.
Oh, he's got one
The
thing.
one final thing is that final shot.
Oh,
That final shot where Eve says,
the
yeah,
bat sig.
nothing's going to stop you now. Nothing can get in your way now. And then in the distance, you see the bat signal turn on.
Shall we get to the comments?
Yes, we shall. Let me just bring them up
How
on.
many comments do we have?
Well, there's 10 in total, but I think some of those are responses from
I'm
other
just
people.
always surprised that people actually want to say something, and it's not telling me to shut up yet.
Well, surprise, surprise. First comment from David Carney. Hey, Mary, shut up. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Word though, word.
David Carney says, hi, Mary and Luke. I really hope Victor doesn't suffer the same fate as Jason Todd. Oh, dear.
No.
Oz should have saved his brothers. Yeah, he should have, and he didn't. And that's what makes him a monster. But it could have been worse. They could have ended up like his step siblings in Gotham. Oh, yeah, he poisoned them, didn't he?
Oh, spoilers! I haven't seen Gotham.
Yeah, you're never going to watch Gotham.
You never know.
Doesn't.
It has
Didn't.
SUV.
Can I finish the comment?
Maybe.
Didn't expect what happened to Sal at all. Have a good week, both of you.
You have a great week too. And you know why? Because I want you to.
Cool. Next, we have Big Mikey P, Michael Andre Parlon, with a slightly shorter comment than usual.
What?
I know, slightly shorter. He says, this Oz is a fan of Astaire, huh?
Oh,
Sure
yeah.
doesn't sound as special as Batman's Grey Ghost, right? No offense to the real life Astaire, he's cool. Have no
Dead.
plans to watch Beetlejuice, like Alien, Romulus, and Ghostbusters Afterlife. I fear it's another one of those good enough sequels that just can't match the shine of the originals. 6 minutes and 19 seconds. Nominating is one thing, actually winning after successful nominations is another. Last thing we need is another Braveheart won the Oscars, not Babe Heat Apollo 13. Now there's a mashup I would go and see. And yet has decreased in value over time scenario. How did Disney ever acquire the Batman live action show rights? Anyway, well, it's because Fox bought them in the 60s to make the Batman show, and they owned them in perpetuity. And then Disney purchased Fox, and they got them. So technically, Adam West is a Disney prince. I asked Paul Dini if that was the case once, and he responded by saying, Adam West is a prince regardless of if Disney's involved or not.
This is true.
Anyway, I'm still morbidly curious if Disney may be into getting legal rights for K-On! And Ojo Manjo Doremi. They already got almost all of Macross after all, and besides, the aforementioned anime can fit right in with the family entertainment formula, even with the occasional mature stuff. So Sal Maroni Endgame wasn't like Falcone's boss battle in Arkham Shadow. Intriguing, very intriguing. I've not played that game, so I don't know.
Oh, I've hit a mark. I've stood up at least 1 minute every 12, whatever.
1 minute per hour every 12 hours.
Sorry, Mikey P.
12:28. There's an east wind coming, Watson, for me. Beats Game of Thrones Winter is Coming. 15 minutes and 15 seconds. Devastating. I'm also surprised Mrs. Cobblepot didn't stay a recurring minor character. I wonder if this'll all end in some place named The Final Offer after Pingy's boat in Arkham Origins. I would like a Mr. Freeze who brought Nora's weakness on themselves. Their college experimenting, oh gods, this suddenly has a cruder meaning when I think about... Oh dear. Yeah, well, I think we'll just skim past that.
Good thing you know that Victor is coming back as Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, where he can continue his experimentation.
We changed it. Never mind. We changed it.
Oh yeah, he's cyborg. Yeah, sorry. This would ensure that she got her signature ailment by way of haphazardness. If I have Halloween special recommendations, there's Mononoke plus Ayaka Ayakashi, Samurai Horror Tales episodes 9 through 11, Baken Eko, and Mushishi for animation. The Thief original trilogy, Deadly Shadows, better be with the sneaky upgrade mod though. And the Penumbra original duology, plus Amnesia, The Dark Descent, and Soma for video games. World War Z, should say Z, but anyway. And classic Dracula and Frankenstein for books. And The Invisible Man, the 1930s one. Shaun of the Dead and Frank Oz's Little Shop of Horrors. I actually prefer the theatrical cut. The director's cut is way, way pessimistic. Memorable spectacle be darned for movies. Wait, you guys don't know how to pronounce the household word isekai?
No.
That's E-sick-I. It's not a household word unless you live in Japan.
I wasn't going to be rude. I was just saying no. But I would like to know.
He just said E-sick-I.
Isekai.
I don't even know what I said. Did I say isekai? Doesn't matter.
No, you said I was repeating what you said.
No, I mean what I originally said.
Oh, no, you didn't say what Mikey P said.
No, I know. It doesn't matter. I think I prefer strawberry filling donuts. Well, I'm glad that that mystery has been solved. 4632, A Plague to Grey's Anatomy. Sure are my fandom biases. So Big Mikey P is not a fan of what's his name? Derek Shepherd.
Oh, that's okay.
What did they call him? He had a nickname.
Excuse me, McDreamy?
Oh, McDreamy. Okay.
Get with the picture. Get with the program.
Look, I remembered that he had a nickname. I just couldn't remember what it was.
Do you remember McSteamy?
No.
It was Mark. God. Do I need to watch it over again?
Sounds like it.
I've only watched I have already watched it over again this year, actually.
Okay, so next we have the Phantasm, who says, this one part in the beginning is an edit that I wanted to make given the recent news. I know you talked about people who live in America going out to vote, and I'm sorry to hear, but the recent election results, and I guess all I can say is that we're lucky that we don't live there. So Phantasm says, hey guys, it's always nice talking to you and being part of this space.
Yeah.
Except for dealing with Mickey P. What's his name? He's extremely tiresome. Please tell him to leave me alone. Well, Big Mikey P, you have been told.
What?
However, let me just say, nobody is allowed to besmirch Big Mikey P except for me. I'm a bit like Doctor Doom, who, whenever the Fantastic Four were about to be murdered by someone, he would swoop in and save them and go, "How dare you try to rob me of the glory of killing Reed Richards? It is mine alone!" And then he would destroy whoever was trying to harm them.
What's going on with him and Big Mikey P?
Big Mikey P responds to his comments and talks about things that he doesn't know why they're being mentioned. So he's just like, stop mentioning it.
Welcome to my life. People, when I'm out in public, they will ask me questions. And because I am who I am, I'll just nod my head and I go, and they'll just talk to me about like things I have no idea about. I'm like, what? Taxation on eyebrow products? What?
Anyway, I'm really glad that they kept the story element of Oswald being responsible for the death of his brothers. Like I said last time, they took heavy inspiration from Penguin, Pain and Prejudice, which I really recommend reading since you probably hadn't read it. It's 5 issues. In the story, Oswald is much more directly involved with their deaths, and also he has 3 brothers named Jason, Robert and William. It's also more brutal how they die, because in the book, one brother died because Oswald put rat poison in his food, which is very similar to Gotham. The other died because Oswald left him to drown in the frozen lake, which is very similar to one of Mr. Freeze's origin stories, where he left his mother to drown in the lake. And the last one died because Oswald ran him over with the car, which is very similar to Batman in Cape Crusader, who ran into the Penguin's henchman and flipped his car around and knocked him over. No, I said that bit. I love how it establishes how protective Oswald is of his mother and how he wanted her attention all to himself. One of my favourite moments was how, after his mother died, he grabs his umbrella and starts smashing his brother's graves and yells, "No, no, no! You can't have her! You can't have her!" In regards to the death of Sal Maroni, I really loved Oswald's reaction to it, of him repeatedly saying, "I beat you!" because it more so feels like he's saying it over and over to convince himself of that, because he didn't beat him. Sal died from a heart attack. Oh yeah, Dr. Rush has more screen time this time around, which is good for Theo Rossi.
Yeah.
He still sucks as a character, though.
Oh.
Instead, he feels more like a background extra who stays on camera for too long.
But I love Theo Rossi to pieces. I do. But I said what I said earlier. They needed to use him more, and you're not completely wrong.
Oh, and regarding Oswald finally wearing the tuxedo and top hat, I mentioned it last time because there's set photos of him wearing it. So wait a minute, we've uncovered the secret to your future prophecy abilities.
What?
You've been cheating by looking at spoilers.
It's not cheating.
Unbelievable.
It's
Unbelievable.
not cheating. It's just he properly looked up things
But
that we could have done
we were
before.
directly avoiding it because we
But
didn't want
then
to.
that was us, not him. We
Unbelievable.
didn't actually have like a spoken verbal
Well,
agreement that he was going to do
this is
Theo.
why he wasn't able to provide the lottery numbers. It's why I only won £2.50 in the lottery instead of the 120 million
What is
pound.
that in U.S. dollars?
In US dollars, probably about $4. It could have won 123 million. Thanks, Phantasm. um,
This is why we should never do it late.
uh,
Do the podcast late.
actually, since you've already seen the final episode when reading this, I hope they didn't cut that from the show. Well,
They didn't. They kept it in.
unless they filmed him at City Hall wearing that outfit, in which case they did. So with Penguin ended, I wanted to ask if you're planning on covering Creature Commandos for the podcast because I think it looks amazing from what we've seen from the trailers, and I'm extremely looking forward to the show. Short answer is no,
Do you want to tell them why?
because Mary hates doing weekly episodes based on episodic shows.
Because I like to watch and enjoy the show. If if we did something like Cape Crusader, where Luke got it, fortunately,
Mm-hmm.
Luke got it early. That would be awesome to do because I just watched it, when he was watching it, so that was I just kind of cheated a little bit. But that would be great. But if it's one of the ones like this where we have to wait for the show to come on and then we have to wait to do the podcast, I don't really know.
Mm-hmm. But maybe if I'm gonna watch it, and if it's very good, then I'll make Mary watch it, and then maybe we can do one episode about the whole thing
Yeah.
after it's done.
But if I change my mind, just erase this.
Mm-hmm. Just forget you ever heard it. There is a last part of the comment here that says, "Don't read this last part, Luke." Well, I'm gonna do it.
What is it?
And Mickey, stop responding to everything I and everyone else says. I better not see you leave a comment under mine. There is one reply. I'm going to look and see who it was from. I'm going to break the rules here. I'm going to read out the reply.
No.
Big Mikey P says, objection overruled. The Streisand defect has forced me to comment, and Luke will predictably read out catty curiosity. Even so, I'm no Mickey, though I don't mind it as an occasional web nickname much.
Yeah.
As an innocent aside, would be curious to see if the miniseries actually takes reference to that kind of material, mourning of the poor penguin from that aforementioned comic. And Phantasm responded, leave me alone, please.
I hope this is all in good fun.
I don't think it is. I think we've got a genuine feud going on.
Do I need to make you two go to your room?
Yes.
If I said that to me, I'd be like, I'm already there.
I'm going to impose a 500 character limit on the comments.
No, I would never. I want it to be as long as possible because Luke has to read it out.
Oh, I know. I'm so tired.
No, guys, it's a good time to be
and it helps with the algorithm.
No, I just don't want it to be
comments.
like a real
no fighting.
Yeah, no real fighting. Fake fighting is fine, but not real fighting because well, I love you both, and I see you guys as my friends. And when friends fight, I am that person that I have to say this. I hate it. Like I will go to the grocery store, just get like all of the stuff I don't need, and I will come home and I will eat it while watching you two bicker. Not you two, as in like you guys. Like
Not
if
Bono.
I have friends.
You're gonna watch Bono bicker. That's very tedious.
I don't know. I don't like you two.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, last comment is from Doc Widener, who says, "Thank goodness you're here. You know, I open my comments like that kind of as a jokey reminder to try the game by that name. I am always glad to hear you, but on a dreary, it's dark and rainy here, morning after election day, I really am glad to have something else to listen to. I'm writing this before I listen to second. I imagine you will have encouraged folks to vote." We watched last week's and this week's episode of Penguin last night instead of election coverage. I listened to your video for last week on the drive-in and listening to this one now. Much better for my mental health than the news.
Word.
3 quick comments from last week. Mary, you're fine for not liking blueberries. You and I agree in the best.
Yeah.
And I tend to be picky eater, so no shame for me.
Oh, word. I'm a picky eater.
2. My wife's parents and her older brother and his wife were in Ireland the last 2 weeks. My brother-in-law sent a text about how smooth and quiet the 100-mile-per-hour train they were taking one day was. I commented how funny. I commented about funny how that happens when you spend money on infrastructure. Well, yes, that's right.
Yeah. I love the train system over here.
When it works properly.
Well, the ones that I use tend to work because I don't use them on a Sunday.
Yeah. 3, and I may make an edit to this after you get to the scenes from this week, but the female-only scenes in this show have been fantastic. Last week, Sophia and Eve. This week, Sophia and Francis, and Sophia and Gia. I assume you haven't gotten to Agatha yet. That's true, we haven't. But one of the things that comes up is the Wiccan and neo-pagan concept of the triple goddess, the maiden mother crone.
Mm.
That struck me as an interesting framing device for Gia, Sophia, and Francis. Yeah, that's true. Gia is clearly the maiden, and at first glance, Francis, while a mother, being the older one, would maybe seem to be the crone. Sophia definitely has some maternal-like responses to Gia, but I wonder if it actually should be flipped. Or maybe Eva is the mother, though not in this episode, and Sophia and Francis are both in their ways the crone. My philosophizing aside, the female interactions in this series are fantastic. Sophia's reactions to both Gia and Francis definitely made her an even more compelling character. 1 minute 50. Top Hat was the name of the movie, same as the episode. Never mind, you figured it out. They did leave it ambiguous if Oz knew what he was doing. He was clearly jealous of his brothers. He was upset she wouldn't stop work for him, but would for his brothers. I think his responsibility will be revealed to Frances next week. I assume she does not know, though I wonder if she has always suspected. Well, you're not far off there.
Mm.
It was a Dare poster. My son rewound to look at it.
Yeah.
I don't know how the explosion in Crown Point could not have attracted Batman, because it happened during the day. Batman sleeps during the day. I still think we won't see him, but as Mary said, I think we will get something like a Batarang. Not far off there either.
Yeah. I was close.
I think Vic is gathering the army which will arrive to save Penguin. Again, not far off.
Oh my god, Doc. Maybe we should
Doc,
count
what?
on Phantasm to do the
Yeah,
lottery.
Doc, what are this week's lottery numbers? Numbers between 1 and 60. We need 6 of them,
So I'm
please.
trying to tell you I don't gamble.
I play the lottery every week just on the off chance, but anyway. As I said, I think Sophia has somehow figured out Oz killed his brothers, correct? What better revenge on Oz than to have Oz lose his mother? Not by being killed, but by disowning him for what he did. The twist may be that Francis knew, and this won't work as Sophia expects. Or the Chekhov's gun of her wanting Oz to kill her goes off. By the time you comment on this, we will know. I wonder if this is the great or little things in the title, much like how Top Hat is implied to inspire the future Penguin costume. I do wonder if they got rid of the bliss so it wouldn't be there for the next Batman movie. Yeah, that's a good point. I think that they've set this show up very much in a way that you don't have to watch it in order to see the Batman Part 2.
Yeah.
You could actually completely bypass this and you wouldn't really miss out on much, but I don't think you should.
Except for great screenwriting.
Yes. Speaking of Top Hat, great film. Seen it a few times on the big screen at the Kappa Summer Movie Series at the Ohio Theatre. I really like Swing Time, but much like Holiday Inn, it suffers from a blackface number.
Yeah.
Cheek to cheek in Top Hat is great, but I prefer Swing Time's The Way You Look Tonight. They are great escapist fun, even with the flaws of their time.
There's Fred Astaire did a movie with Joan Crawford, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called Dancing Lady. I say I believe. I know it's called Dancing Lady.
Mm-hmm.
And I freaking love that movie. And I wish I in Oklahoma they would bring Top Hat to our theaters as well occasionally. I just wish they would have done something like that with Dancing Lady because I'm just looking this up. I can't remember the year it came out.
We're going to find out. Dancing Lady. Oh, it's just pictures of ladies dancing.
Uh Dancing Lady
Movie.
movie.
1933.
Yeah, in 33. So it is in that there's these, from the Wizard of Oz era is what I like to call it. The They bring tons of stuff out. I just wish they would bring Dancing Lady out.
Um, I've lost my place in the comment. I like a good unfilled long john, but they are hard to find. I was going to make a joke then, but decided not to.
I know. I love Long Johns, but they don't call them that over here.
What do we call them?
Eclairs.
Oh, an eclair.
So I think they're called eclairs over here. The long one with the filling in
Yeah,
it.
with the cream and then the chocolate on top.
Yeah.
Well, that's a chocolate eclair.
Long Johns. Like when
Okay.
you go to Dunkin' Donuts and you're like, okay, I want a black coffee, 11 Long Johns, and one sprinkle donut.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get like 11 eclairs and one sprinkle donut. In case you didn't know what a
Magnifique.
sprinkle donut was.
I know what a sprinkle. Unbelievable. Apple fritter is up there too, but can't go wrong with a simple glazed.
You like apple fritters, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Mm.
I would like an Agatha flip side. You could just do a series review, not an episode by episode, or maybe episodes 1 and 2, 3 through 7, and 8 and 9. After you watch, you may see why I split it that way. But if you don't get to it, understand you are quite busy. Well, we need to watch it first.
Yeah, we could do that. Like an episode about the entire series in the new year.
Yeah.
When we get some time off from playing mind games with The Sims. Um I'm joking. Yeah, we could do that because I've had so many people in my IRL, I hate saying that, in my IRL and in my online universe say I should watch that and I would love it because one, it's about witches.
Yeah, it's a lesbian witch show.
Duh. And I was about to say it's about lesbians, witches, and apparently I'm gonna like the style.
Mhm. Well, maybe we'll watch that a couple of episodes this weekend or something. I don't know. Maybe not.
We'll watch it because what Luke and I like to do is around Christmas we watch a series. And it doesn't because we did that with Game of Thrones. We did that with
Witcher.
The Witcher. How to Make a Murder.
Yes.
That might be our thing because I can't think of anything else that isn't dreary. That's why I was like, can we wait a couple weeks?
Yeah.
Because he's got time off around Christmas, which is nice. Whereas if I watch it at the weekend, he's usually working on videos and stuff, and I'm like, can we watch it? He's like, let me finish this, and I'm like, oh, it's exactly like that.
Yeah,
That's how I sound.
It is. So we're done with the comments.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone for joining us for talking about the penguin
yeah,
and
it's been a good ride. It's been an emotional ride. It's been an icky ride, but it's been a good ride.
Mhm.
It's like the Twist-A-Whirl at the Oklahoma County Fair.
Okay. Do you want to talk about what we're doing next time, Mary? Because we're now that we've finished these weekly episodes, I'm just going to quickly explain that we're going to go back to the every other Sunday release date. So that means the next episode will be out on Sunday, the 1st of December. I believe that's the right date. I could be wrong, but it's basically going to be like 2 weeks from now. No, that's not 2 weeks from now, is it?
It's gonna
just
be,
over 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna be on the 1st of December.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I'm just saying that in my head so I can actually remember to write it down. And it is going to be about our favorite Christmas specials.
And these are TV shows that have got a Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I've got so many things I could talk
You
about.
better
Only
keep
one.
It. You better keep it. No, we could be because we don't need to go like play by play, but it could be about anything. Because I also want you guys to put down, and this isn't one of those like engagement things. Like, please engage with my thing. I like it when you guys do that, and I appreciate it. You know how much I like. I really like hearing from you guys, but I also want to watch some new stuff. The Agatha we're gonna watch because I've just put that in my plans. But I also want to watch other Christmassy stuff, and I don't. It doesn't have to be like traditionally Christmas. It could be set around Christmas or anything. So, what are y'all's favorite Christmas type TV episodes, songs? If y'all haven't listened to the Christopher Lee Christmas album, you got problems. Um, I want to know because I want to because I have time to actually celebrate Christmas this year. I want to be able to be really cheesy about it. Cheese McGee's. So yeah, that's going to be our next episode. I want to end this episode by saying something like words. Um I really appreciate all of the kindness that I get in the comments and when you guys just communicate with me. It has really been something that has helped me get out of last week in all honesty. And I really, really want to thank you because it has been so hard. And I know I don't live in the States, but I have seen how miserable some people are, and I am so fortunate to have you guys, and I am so incredibly thankful. I am grateful, and I just want you guys to know how freaking special you are to me. Um, like I say, you guys do help me get up in the morning, and I don't say that lightly. Um, I know a lot of people don't talk about those things, but I want to change that. I want to appreciate the people in my life and I want to show the appreciation. So this is me doing that. Thank you for listening, and I hope your week goes better than you even wish for. It's going to go better than that. And if it doesn't,
It won't rain all the time.
yeah. But if it doesn't, contact me and I can give you a good joke that I have off of I've saved from all of the Christmas crackers. All right. I love you guys. Have a really, really great time. And thank you for listening to us, even though it's quite annoying today. Bye.